Not typical to see a black man just march into the KKK. How did you, I was reading about you. You got someone to turn over the robes. How did that happen? Did you just show up?
Well, actually, it was just by happenstance. I was playing at the time I'm a musician by trade. Got my degree in music from Howard University. But I was playing in a country western band. And I was in an all-white bar. Not that blacks couldn't go in there, but they just chose not to go in there, and it was usually a good choice on their part because they weren't really welcome. But here I was in this place with this band, and on the break, this white gentleman came up to me and said he really enjoyed my music, and that this was the first time he'd ever seen a black man play piano like Jerry Lee Lewis. Well, I wasn't offended, but I was kind of taken aback and surprised, like, didn't he know? And I said to him, and I wasn't trying to be facetious, I said, well, where do you think Jerry Lee Lewis learned how to play? And he says, what are you talking about? I said, Jerry Lee learned that same style from black, blues, and boogie-woogie piano players. That's where that rockabilly rock and roll came from. Well, the guy didn't believe me. I told him that Jerry Lee Lewis is a very good friend of mine. I've known him since I was 13 years old. He's told me himself where he learned how to play. The guy didn't buy that I knew Jerry Lee. He didn't buy that Jerry Lee learned anything from black people. But he was fascinated with me. He was like probably in his mid-40s. He wanted to buy me a drink. I don't drink, but I went back to his table, and the waitress brought me a cranberry juice, and he clinked my glass and cheered me. And then he says, you know, this is the first time I ever sat down with a black man and had a drink.
Wow.
Well, now I'm intrigued. Like, what is going on here? And so I finally got out of him. He said he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Well, when I started laughing, he produced his wallet and handed me his Klan membership card, and I stopped laughing. Because I've always known a lot about the Klan. I have a vast library on black supremacy, white supremacy, the Ku Klux Klan, the neo-Nazis here, the Nazis in Germany. Anybody who believes that the color of their skin gives them superiority over somebody else, I have books on it.
Wow, wow. Now,
so that was my intro.
Now, Daryl, you have some robes and things like that you brought with you. Can you show us, our viewers, from what I read, you actually have the national director and state, some of the prior national and state directors' robes.
I sure do. I can see. This is a Klan rally banner. This is what they fly, you know, in their rallies as they march or have their rallies. This right here is a Grand Dragon's robe. Now this is the Klan insignia.
Now explain that to our viewers. What is that dragon for the viewers that don't know that?
All right, a Grand Dragon means a state leader. We would call our state leader the governor. In Klan terminology, that person is known as the Grand Dragon. Anybody prefixed with the word grand means he is a state officer. An imperial wizard is a national leader. We call our national leader the president. They call theirs the imperial wizard. Anybody prefixed with the word imperial means that person is a national officer.